We'll talk the main games from this week and sort of big headline games and what's coming into the final week. But first game from this week, Lions versus Vikings. Vikings winning 23-10. Lions getting eliminated. I wouldn't have seen this beginning of the season.
Yeah, I completely agree. Lots of issues. I know that there's I think they have like 20 players on IR right now. Like it's they're down bad on the health
Mm-hmm.
category. Um, but like this that game was not good. Like the Vikings have been very good defensively
Yeah.
through a lot of the season. Their offense is where it's been a lot more shaky. Um, but Jared Goff did not look good. Five turnovers. Uh, Gibbs, the last few games hasn't really been able to get
Mm-hmm.
anything going. He's looked like a totally different player. Um, and then you pair that with, uh, kind of some question marks with Dan Campbell. It's like, did Ben
Mm-hmm.
Johnson make that offense because of all the success he's having with the Bears?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of makes you wonder, like how much were you hiding behind your coordinators?
Yeah.
Because it's something that's got to be brought up. I'm a Dan Campbell fan, not a Lions fan, but I am a Dan Campbell fan. I like the guy. I like his sentiment. I like his interviews. I think he seems like a great guy, a good coach. Um, but it does make you wonder, because this is a very down year for them.
Yeah. It's insane because like when you look at the Vikings stats, total yards 161, passing yards
Yeah.
three.
Yeah.
3 yards.
Brosmer, baby.
Rushing yards 158, but it's like how does a team like this win against a Lions team that should be good? And yeah, is it Dan Campbell? Is it all these injuries? I honestly think it's the end of Jared Goff. I don't think any team could have trust in him after his first
Hmm.
2 to 3 years on a team. I think he needs to make a switch so he could be good for the next 2 to 3 years. But I think he's done just away with the Rams. That first few years, he was a great player, but then he fell off. They brought in Matt Stafford, and that made the a whole much of a difference. Maybe it's time to bring Matt Stafford back to Detroit, and make that swap, and try to,
Yeah.
it'd be a good story for Matt Stafford to go back and win one for Detroit before he retires. Um,
Hmm.
but tough game, yeah,
Yeah, tough game overall. Yeah, Lions need to, I don't know, get healthy number one, and
yeah.
then look at, some changes there. Even question that, like you mentioned, the quarterback.
Hmm.
Stats wise, Goff looked pretty good this year, but um, if you look at the tape, there's
Yeah,
there's a lot of downtime.
yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of downtime. But yeah, that was that game. Next one, Ravens versus Packers. I'm happy with this game. Ravens winning.
I bet.
Um, good game. Huntley did what he had to do. Um, Derrick Henry, monster game. 36 carry, 216, four touchdowns. Um, I've talked about it a lot. You got to feed Henry the ball, stick to your game script. I think the Ravens heard all the media chatter and all the chatter just from everybody last week of why they didn't give Henry the ball in the after his last touchdown and why they probably lost last week. But great game for us, a must-need win. We'll talk about, just week 18 because week 18 is going to be big for us. But Green Bay side, Malik Willis going to be a starter next year somewhere. If it's not with Green Bay, it's with someone else.
I'm glad you brought that up. I was a really big advocate of Malik Willis, and I don't know if it was more in my own brain. But when he was being drafted, I thought he was going to be legit. He was a very highly talked about, person out of, I believe he went to Liberty, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Just crazy athletic talent, hell of an arm. And he's shown a lot of that. And quite frankly, I think Jordan Love is probably the slightly better player, but Malik Willis runs the offense better, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion. Just the fluidity of it all. I think it looks way better with Malik
Mm-hmm.
Willis, and maybe Packers low key paid the wrong guy. I
Yeah.
hate to say it, It might be a little bit of a hot take, maybe not for some, but like Malik Willis looks very, very good.
Hmm.
And you nailed it. Like Tennessee, good Lord, you had Vrabel, you had Malik Willis, you had AJ Brown, like, and you effed it up. You had
Yeah.
Derrick Henry. I mean, good Lord,
Yeah.
that is arguably one of the worst run franchises
Hmm.
in the league, top three, like just down bad. But yeah, no, Malik Willis. There's several teams that needs a starter next year.
Hmm.
Um, and he's going to be a top candidate. He earned himself a great payday. So
Yeah.
shout out Malik Willis, good for you. Ravens side of the ball, yeah, Derrick Henry. We talked about it last week. We love Keaton Mitchell, but give it to your stud, especially in a
Yep.
game where Lamar is out. You can't rely on the receiving, too much with
Hmm.
Baltimore. Stick with what you know, and Derrick Henry is that old reliable.
Yeah.
Just feed the beast, and that's exactly what they did. Um, one other thing, um, Harbaugh seemed to listen. I don't know if he listened to us, listen to the general public of the Ravens. Um, are you buying? We don't have to get into necessarily specifics. Are you buying into some of the rumors surrounding Harbaugh and the rest of the Ravens at the moment?
I'm buying it a little bit because it's been something that's gone around for a few years. I think just his play
Okay.
calling and then some of the excuses why the play calling has gone that way has probably rubbed some of the players the wrong way, possibly.
Mhm.
But I think we talked about it when you mentioned it a few weeks ago. Like, is he gone? I don't think he's gone after this year, no matter what happens. I think he'll
Yep.
get another year, but he has to sort of show it next year. You know, it's a make it or break it year for him. Um, there are rumors of him going and us bringing in someone else. Someone saying Brian Flores will be a lot better for us just because our defense needs help. Possibly, but
Yeah.
also Brian Flores's track record as a head coach hasn't been that great, where Harbaugh has won us a Super Bowl.
Yep.
So we'll see, but I think how next week go or this week goes will be a big tell all of how they feel. But yeah,
For sure. Check out John's post too.
yeah,
Maybe the battle of future of coaching with the
yeah.
Steelers in Baltimore
Could
coming up.
could be
It's a good
could
preface.
could be. But yeah, that's the Ravens game. Like I said, we'll talk more Ravens later. Next, Dolphins Bucks. I think this one just Buccaneers losing to the Dolphins. It makes their week this week a tough game because their fate is not in their hands. It's in Atlanta's hands. So,
Hmm.
Porter lost to the Dolphins out of all teams. Like I said, Dolphins, 7-9, but not a great team. Baker Mayfield, big yardage, but two picks. Couldn't come up. A Chain does what he does. Quinn Ewers might be the starting quarterback there, for the future, playing really well. But we'll see. But yeah, I think the big thing with the Bucks game is Bucks losing just takes their future out of their hands.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Bucks, they lost it themselves.
Hmm.
You can't even credit the other team so much. This was a terrible loss. There's been several of them in recent weeks. Baker is playing very subpar,
Hmm.
and he has his weapons. Like
Yeah,
there's no excuse.
yeah.
Quite frankly, and I've liked Baker's comeback. You were very high on them, and I think
Hmm.
for very good reason. And
Yeah.
your take looks super good. Still there.
Hmm.
You never know. Baker could win MVP.
Yeah.
It's but Bucks most importantly getting into the playoffs. I think that's
Hmm.
obviously still very real. Um, but yeah, just kind of a disappointment, especially
Hmm.
against the Dolphins. Quinn Ewers could
Yeah.
be the future QB there. They might find something, get him a little bit
Yeah.
more comfortable. They drafted him for a reason, and then hopefully you offload Tua. We'll see.
Yeah.
Um, and you kind of run with it. But yeah,
Yeah.
Bucks, not a good loss.
Yeah. Next game, Browns versus Steelers. Big one from the Browns. Happy with this game because Steelers losing puts the
Hmm.
fate into week 18. Um, but big news for this is Steelers losing. They did it to themselves. I heard before the game this week that they were going to focus on Myles Garrett and not letting him get the sack record, against them. And they were more focused on that, I think, than winning the game and not, if they would have won this week, they would have been in the playoffs. They were guaranteed a spot. Losing makes week 18 a big matchup for both the Steelers and the Ravens. So, if I was a Steelers fan, I'd be pissed off that they focused more on the sack record and not getting a win against a Browns team that should have been an easy win.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, the Steelers should have absolutely clobbered the Browns. The Browns are an awful team. It makes zero sense that they were held up this much. But clearly they focused on Myles Garrett more than the win itself. And that's shameful because this season, looks like a more promising season for
Mhm.
them. But honestly, not at this point. And I watched a clip of the final play with Aaron Rodgers. He had Kenny Gainwell wide open. It's a he's trusted Kenny Gainwell. Kenny Gainwell's had a
Mhm.
phenomenal season. Um, he was wide open on like a on like an in route
Mhm.
and missed him. It happens obviously, but yeah, it's a tough look. And just a subpar game. Focus on
Yeah.
the wrong things. So
Yeah.
good for your Ravens though.
Yeah. Good for the Ravens. And then last game for just to review this week in short, 49ers versus Bear. Amazing game Sunday night. Big win for the 49ers, but Bears, man, keeping it close. Bears are going to be a scary team in the playoffs because they're for sure in. But 49ers, big win because that also means week 18, big game, big game.
Oh
So,
yeah.
but overall, Brock Purdy, amazing game. McCaffrey, doing McCaffrey things. Pearsall coming back, having a great game for them. On that side, and then Bear side, Caleb Williams did what he had to do. Swift did what he had to do. Um, it's going to be fun to see both of these teams in the playoffs.
Absolutely. I will say this made my travel experience go by a lot faster. Phenomenal game. Anybody, Niners or Bears fan, your blood pressure was raised this entire game. Like it
Yeah.
was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Phenomenal game. Two high-powered offenses.
Hmm.
Kyle Shanahan, I liked my jokes last season. I really did. I had a lot of fun with them. But quite frankly, you deserve Coach of the Year. Absolutely
Oh.
phenomenal season, given all of the injuries that he's endured with this roster. Like phenomenal way he's done it. The past few weeks, like 5 weeks maybe,
Uh,
the 49ers offense, in my opinion, feels like the best, not just the offense, but more the offense than the defense. It seems like the best flowing offense we've had in
mhm.
years, in my opinion. I think the offense has looked phenomenal.
Yeah.
And just it's like next man up mentality.
Mhm.
A healthy McCaffrey, healthy, staff. This game, Kittle was out. Tonga stepped in perfectly. Dude's been
Perfectly. Yep.
awesome. Anytime Kittle's missed, Tonga steps right up and is played very, very well.
Yeah.
Um, Roster stacked. Pearsall, glad to have him healthy. Who needs Ayuk at this point? Juwan Jennings stepping up, like Brock Purdy, swag galore. Dude is just off the charts. He is not sneaky athletic. He is athletic, as CMC says. Um, Love you, Brock. You're worth every penny at this moment. Thank you. Yeah, and then another thing, pay Sala, pay Sala, pay Sala, pay Sala. Keep him. Don't let him go to another head coaching role. Pay him as much as a head coach needs. Keep Sala. He is a difference maker. There's been so many injuries to that defense, and he's kept it in line.
Yeah.
So major props to Robert Sala.
No.
He is exactly what we need. So Niners love the win. Chicago Bears, scary ass team.
Yeah.
Scary ass team. Like Ben
Scary.
Johnson has them rolling. Loveland is a phenomenal tight end, by the way.
Hmm.
He had no drops going into the game, and he only had one drop this game, but 7 catches, like almost 100
Yeah.
yards, touchdown, stacked. They're phenomenal team.
Yeah. No, great team, both sides. Yeah, Sala most likely might get a head coaching job, but we'll see. Yeah,
Nope.
you
Nope.
guys do need to pay him,
Not
but
available.
not available.
Not available. Not
Not
available.
available for Tim. You guys all heard that. But
Yep.
yeah, great game. So we'll sort of talk about this week because there's a lot of big games this week that are going to have playoff implications. First one, the first game Saturday. We're having two Saturday games: Panthers versus Bucks. This is a big game for the Bucks. They need to win to have a chance, but Bucks also need Atlanta to lose. That's the only way that they'll make it. Atlanta wins, no matter what they win. Even if they win, they're out. Panthers are in. So Panthers are
Mhm.
trying to go for the win, and Atlanta. And if they don't win, they just need Atlanta to win, and Atlanta is facing the Saints. Uh, a Falcons win just guaranteed Carolina the playoffs. So big game for them. I would want to see the Bucks in just because I think that offense will be a lot more exciting, or could be a lot more exciting the way they probably can play if they play perfectly. But Panthers are hit or miss. Like last week, just underwhelming. Bryce Young, not that great of a game. That team, not that great. But like I say, it's just a poor conference that they're gonna be in just because they're just a better bad team.
Absolutely. No, I agree. This is the last season I want to see the Bucks in. And I'm gonna preface that with some older players, Mike Evans nearing the end of his career, Godwin likewise.
Hmm.
Just Mayfield hasn't played up to par. This is the last season I'd want to make see them make it in. But my focus would then turn to Falcons have some talent, but I think Pitts leaves. But I'm more interested in seeing what Carolina has to hold next year because I think
Hmm.
they could be the division winner next year. And
Hmm.
then the Saints have really been
Oh yeah,
good.
yeah.
Shook has been phenomenal. They have a lot of good elements there, and this is all done without Kamara. So there's some elements there that they could add on to.
Hmm.
Kellen Moore's done a phenomenal job with coaching them. But yeah, Bucks see them this year, and then I'm good with seeing either Panthers or Saints in the following years.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see, but that's going to be a big game Saturday, 1:30 Pacific Standard Time. Then the
Okay.
afternoon game on Saturday, Seahawk 49ers. Big game
Yeah,
because winner of this gets number one seed, you know, playoff or wild card week bye week and home field advantage. So big game. Um, is it in they're in San Francisco?
it's in so what's funny is San Francisco, the Niners can play a home game every single game the rest of the year possibly. If
Hmm.
we win all the way, every game's going to be at Levi's,
Yeah. Super
including
Bowl
the
too.
Super Bowl.
Hmm. So
Yep.
it
And
it's
that's
it,
fun.
it
I
sounds
love
like
that. We
destiny.
literally control
Destiny.
everything. Yeah, that's right. Let's have it. Let's have it, man.
All
And quite frankly, no, I won't go there. Too soon.
right.
I won't say it. I'm going to bite my tongue. But yeah, going to be a phenomenal game. Really excited for it. This Bears game was great, and it leads into a phenomenal game against the Seahawks.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great game. It's gonna be a big hitting game because both these teams that bye week will help so much that you need to take it, especially the 49ers,
Yep.
they've been playing pretty hard. I think a break will help them. Um, but yeah, I'm excited to see this. It's gonna be I think the probably first or second biggest game of the week for me. Uh, there's a
Yep.
few other
We might get
ones.
Warner back, by the way.
Yeah,
Warner
Warner
might come
back.
back for the conference or maybe even the start of the playoffs.
Yeah, yeah, you know, and if he comes back healthy, whew, that makes that defense even
Oh,
scarier.
yeah. Let's
So
go.
we'll see what the 49ers Seahawks game is, but going to be a high hitting game. You think high scoring? or
Yes,
defensive?
based off the last two Niners games,
Mhm.
I would say combined score over 50.
Over 50. Okay. Good game. Good game.
Hmm.
All right. One of the next big games, or what? One of them, I don't have it on my big game list, but it is a big game. Patriots Dolphins. Patriots need a win. They should get the win pretty easily against the Dolphins, but they need a win because the big game Broncos versus Chargers. Broncos
Mm.
lose, Pats take number one seed and that bye week. Broncos need a win. They have the similar record, so they need to win. Chargers, uh, what are they at? 11-5. I think I think they're gonna stay in the same spot. I don't think they lose anything with a loss. So who knows if they're gonna come in 100%, you know. So
Yeah. What
opens up.
about with the Texans? Same record now, right? And then Texans just beat Chargers?
Yeah. So it might just be seeding, but like I say, it just
Yeah,
depends on
seeding.
what the
Yep.
seeding is. Um,
You're right.
but yeah, nothing like with first in the AFC because I think Broncos are still a game above them even with a loss. So no major changes there. So who knows if the Chargers are going to come with full force or they're going to have rest some guys. I think this is a team the Chargers do need a rest. They need to get a healthy team, healthy O line,
Yep.
healthy Herbert, healthy wide receivers, like just overall. So they may be sitting quite a few players because they're already guaranteed in the playoffs. Which opens up the Broncos. They need to play. They got to play their players. Like I say, them losing the mile high advantage, playing home every game in the AFC, you got to take advantage of that because the high altitude could be a difference maker for your team. So that's a big game for
Hmm.
me.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, huge game. Depends, yeah, like you said, Chargers, if they want to stay competitive or not, doesn't
Mhm.
really matter. Um, are we confirmed on Pats taking AFC East now with the Bills
Yep,
loss and their win this past week?
yep, it's confirmed.
Ah, how about that, huh?
Your take.
All right. There we go. Good for banter.
Yes, good.
Um, I might do it. I might buy a Drake May jersey. I
You might
might do
have
it
to. You
just
might
because of
have
the
to.
take.
Yeah.
She's gonna hate it. I bought a Shaq jersey,
Nice.
represent LA. I love Shaq
Yeah.
growing up.
Yeah.
Um, but Drake May jersey, I don't know because
Drake
of the
May.
take.
It might
Yeah,
be, you know.
it's good stuff.
Yeah.
Proud of those Pats.
Yeah. No,
1 year
they're
fan.
doing well. Yeah.
That's all.
But big game for those two. And then the last
Yep.
big game, Ravens Steelers. It's win it, get in. Big game for us. You know, we win, we're in. Steelers win, they're in. Lamar Jackson still questionable with his back injury. If he doesn't play, we got to do the same MO we did in Green Bay. Just run it, run it, run it. If for some reason the Steelers could stop us, then we got to get creative. Huntley, I think, can get the job done. And then our defense just has to find a way to stop Aaron Rodgers and Gainwell. No DK Metcalf for the
Mhm.
Steelers, so DK's incident with the fan 2 weeks ago might hurt this team so much that they're going to lose this game. Because after DK,
Mhm.
there really isn't. DK was for me. DK wasn't even a number one wide receiver. Let's be honest. You
Ye-
know, you're gonna have to
Yeah.
rely on Pat Fryermuth, MVS too old. Jonnu Smith hasn't done what he did last year, and then Thielen. Thielen went to what he thought was going to be a contender. Uh, Picked the wrong team.
Psych. Should have gone to the other AFC
Yeah.
North team. But yeah, no, and then you mix that in with TJ Watt's unfortunate lung injury. Kind
Mhm.
of just a That's just a crazy scenario with what happened to him. But I don't think he's going to be back this season, right? I know he's been rumored to possibly be back, but I don't. At least regular season. I
Yeah.
won't talk for the playoffs yet, but
Yeah.
that's a very serious injury.
Yeah.
Wish him. best of health most of
Mhm.
all. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think Ravens got it. I think you guys got it. Just feed Henry. Just
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah. I don't know how to feel. Like I want to watch the game, but at the same time I don't, because if it doesn't go the way I want it to,
Mm,
I'm gonna be so mad because like I think we've talked about it. This is the one season, this AFC, it's gonna be a tough AFC, but we don't have to go against the Chiefs and the refs. Like I said, we
yeah,
avoided that, and Josh Allen probably doesn't want us to get in because it'll be the first year he doesn't have to face Mahomes or Lamar Jackson in the playoffs. And for him it's probably an easier route, but the way that AFC East, they didn't even win that conference, Pats took it. So it still would be a tough battle, but if we can make it, and like I said, that's always a big word, if we make it in, Lamar comes back and he can just play the Lamar way and we stick to our game plan, well, we can make a little run. I think we can. But like I say, there's
yep.
a lot of factors. Coaching is another one. Like Tim mentioned, if you saw my post, I put it out there just because I was curious if this is coaches playing for their job. I think whatever coach might be at risk of losing it. Ravens, I don't think Harbaugh will lose it because been making the playoffs. We've been doing well. Tomlin, on the other hand, has had bad seasons, bad signings. Rodgers still question mark. DK Metcalf didn't do DK stuff. What you paid him. I think if it doesn't go well, he can be making a change, and I think he'll still be a great head coach somewhere, but might not be with the Steelers anymore.
Definitely. Yeah. It's just one of those things where, the franchise fans are just tired of going 9-8 every season.
Yeah.
And somewhere around there, barely over 500. Um, and I can't blame them. Yeah, a change is sometimes just necessary. But yeah, no, let's see what happens. If you guys do make it in, would that be who'd you guys draw first? Either Broncos or Pats?
Let me see. NFL wow, picture updated.
I have a feeling it'd be Broncos or Pats. You guys would be the lowest seed if I'm not mistaken.
We'll be
Or is it a
four. So
play-in?
no, we're four. We would be four. So as of
Oh, because
right
the
now,
division.
yeah, because we're first in our division, so we
Ah,
get the four seed. So we at least get one home
got it.
game. Or we could get multiple home games depending on who wins. But we would be going right now Houston. So it could be either Houston or the
Ooh,
Chargers, depending on that. So tough games, but like I
ooh,
say,
Harbaugh.
they have to come to. Imagine Chargers, another Harbaugh Bowl, and this time not for the Super Bowl.
Look out. They might turn off the lights. Might turn off the
When
lights. Oh.
they're in our house, they don't have access to the lighting system, at M&T.
S- well, he has scouts. He has
He does.
little,
His dad.
side personnel. His dad.
His
Imagine
dad
his
does it.
dad just going up there.
Uh,
Here's a switch.
but yeah,
Be hilarious.
yeah.
Fun,
So yeah,
fun playoff.
AFC wise, like I say, Denver could lose the number one spot as of right now. If they would switch with New England, that would put Denver playing Buffalo, which would be a big game. As of right now, New England's playing
Oh yeah.
Buffalo, and I think it'll stay like that if Denver and New England win. Jacksonville staying at number three, so it's either they're going to be playing the Chargers or the Texans, depending on how the next week goes. Um, you know, it, if you're the Chargers, would you prefer to play Jacksonville or the Ravens slash Steelers? Or if it's the Ravens, who would you prefer?
If I were the Chargers, I'd prefer to play the Ravens.
Okay.
And the Ravens, you either get Texans or Chargers.
Yeah.
I'd rather play the Chargers. I think
Yeah.
they would choose each other,
Yeah.
quite frankly. I think that gives the best shot. I think the Texans defense is way too good.
Hmm.
Chargers didn't look real great
Yeah.
this past
Hmm.
week. And then Jacksonville, it's just bad memories for the Chargers a couple years ago.
Yeah.
That was so ugly.
Yeah.
Um,
So if
Yeah,
the Chargers want that to happen, they need to play and try to beat Denver because they're the six.
as they
They're number
as
six.
they should.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
they may play everybody and it might be a tough go for Denver. So um,
if they
but
do that, I'm bringing back the referee outfit. Gotta get
yeah,
Fidel on.
we gotta get Fidel on. And then NFC, I think the only big change would be Seattle and San Francisco, 1-5. Um,
Hmm.
as of right now, San Francisco's playing Carolina or the Bucks, depending on how things go. But like I said, there's a lot for the Bucks to get in. The Rams looks like they're playing Philly. It'll stay that way. And then Chicago versus Green Bay. That's going to be a killer game in Chicago.
Hmm.
So not as many changes possibly in the NFC, but like I said, the big one both number one seeds in NFC AFC up for grabs this week, which I don't think we've seen much, in recent history.
No, the NFL playoff parity right now is top notch.
Yeah,
It's going to be phenomenal. The
it is.
the end of this season has redeemed what the start of the season was. It
Mhm.
was like a ton of injuries, subpar play, kind of bleh, like what is
Yeah,
this? The last half of the season,
been good.
perfection.
Yes.
Nailed it.
Yeah, so it'll be a good end of the season, week 18 this coming week. Uh, yeah, but that's NFL talk.